everybody, GD's Aviation back here with another video. Today we're going to be doing a San Diego Lindbergh Field International Airport update. I hope you guys are excited for this one because I am. We have lots of new planes for this update. Now that I've actually thought about it, I don't know if I should actually say this on YouTube, but this is my worst airport I have. It might still be okay, but all the other ones lately, I've been upgrading them so much. You guys, I think, would really, really like them. So make sure to look forward to those, especially the Chicago Midway update and the Calgary update, which will be next. So that's a new airport, and I'm very excited for that, featuring several new models. But we're back here with the coronavirus, real-life San Diego airport update. So I hope you guys are excited for this because I am. So we're going to go and jump straight into this. We have lots of interesting planes to go over. So we'll start right now with the Southwest Airlines 737-700 in the Tennessee 1 livery. This one is pushing back, or actually he's on the runway right now, sorry. The next one's going to be pushing back. Anyways, this aircraft is going to be heading out to Denver after arrival earlier from Albuquerque. Okay, next up here we have a Southwest 737-800. This is with the blended winglets in the Canyon Blue livery. This one is just holding short of runway 27 here for his flight out to Phoenix. Then just next up here on this takeoff line, we have the FedEx 757-200. This one is going to be heading out to Indianapolis after arrival from Fort Worth, Texas. Next up here is an Alaska 737-800, which has arrived in Fort Lauderdale and is going to be making the very long return flight. You guys are going to think I'm ridiculous for saying this, but here we have a United 737-700 service to Washington Dulles. That's very interesting. I did see the aircraft on this route several times before, so I wanted to include it in this update. Next up back there, we have a Southwest Airlines 737-800 in the Heart livery with split scimitars, of course. This one's going to be heading out to Sacramento, California after arrival from Houston Hobby. Next up here, we have a Southwest 737-700 in the Louisiana 1 livery. This one's going to be heading out to Dallas Love Field, and he has arrived in from Chicago Midway. Next up here, we have two Southwest 737-800s in the Canyon Blue livery, both with split scimitars, of course. These are awesome models, actually, and they're really hard to find now, but they're actually some of my favorite in my collection. So I highly recommend that if you do find them for a decent price, you should definitely pick them up because they are really great. Anyways, the bottom one here is the one closest to us, of course, has arrived in from Baltimore and will be making the return flight. And then at the top there, we have the Southwest 737-800, again in the Canyon Blue livery, of course, and he's going to be heading out to Atlanta after arrival from Orlando. Next up down there, we have kind of a cool one. This is a Sun Country 738, which has arrived in from Palm Springs and will be making the flight out to Minneapolis. Next up right here, we have the Southwest 737-700 in the Florida 1 livery. This one will be heading out to Kansas City after arrival from there earlier. Alright, so right now we have two aircraft currently in the frame. The bottom one is there a Southwest 737-700 in the Canyon Blue livery. This one will be heading out to St. Louis and has arrived in from Las Vegas. And at the top we have a Spirit A320neo service to Las Vegas. Right there we have a JetBlue Airlines service A320 with the barcode tail in chocolate, of course. This one has arrived in just now from Boston and is currently pulling into the gate and will be making the return flight later this evening out to Fort Lauderdale. Down there we have an awesome new model. That's the Alaska 737-900 in a 100-year-strong Boeing livery, which is going to be heading out to Seattle and has arrived in from Boise earlier, which is an interesting substitution on that aircraft. All right, now just here at the gate we have this Alaska Airlines Airbus A320. This one's going to be heading out to San Jose, California after arrival from Guadalajara. And right here we have this Alaska 737-800 Spirit of the Islands, which has arrived in from Kahului and will be making the return flight out to Lihu. Down there we have another awesome, somewhat new model. This is the Alaska 737-800 in the Salmon 30 Salmon livery, which will be heading out to Honolulu. Right down there we have an Alaska E-175 in the Honoring Those Who Serve livery, which will be heading out to Portland, which is a very, very busy route, after his arrival from Everett earlier today. Next up down there we have an American Airlines Airbus A321. This is the LUS configuration, which is going to be heading out to Phoenix Sky Harbor. Next up right there is an American Airlines Airbus A321 with the Sharklets, which has arrived in from Dallas Fort Worth and will be making the return flight. Right there we have an American 737-800, which is currently waiting for another aircraft to taxi out. This aircraft will be heading out to Chicago O'Hare today. The next up right here, we have this American Airlines Airbus A321 in the Stand Up to Cancer livery. This one is going to be heading out to Philadelphia after arrival from Charlotte. Then just down here, we have this American Eagle E170, which is substituting for a 175 with service to Los Angeles. Here we have an awesome triple aircraft shot. At the bottom there, we have a Delta 737-800, which is going to be heading out to Minneapolis today. Above from there, we have a Delta A321 with the Thank You livery, which has arrived in from Minneapolis and will be making the return flight out to Detroit. Then back there, just pushing back, we have this Delta A321 by NG Models, which is just pushing back for his flight out to Atlanta. Then right down there, just getting some passengers on board for the final. Here we have this Delta Airlines Airbus A321, service to Salt Lake City. Next up here, we have the United A319 with the IAE engines, of course, and the new livery. This is going to be heading out to San Francisco as he's just taxiing in there from San Francisco. Here we have the United Eco Skies livery 737-900 with service out to Chicago O'Hare after arrival from Houston. Then just concluding this United Airlines section here, we have the 737-800 new livery by NG Models. An amazing, outstanding model actually. This one will be heading out to Denver as he is arriving there from earlier. Then here we have a nice interesting one. This is the Delta 757-200. This aircraft will be heading out to John F. Kennedy, New York International Airport. So that's very interesting to see the 757 on that route, but also very cool because I get to include one realistically into an update, which is awesome. So anyways, that's going to do it for this update, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.